Hey there, Miss Sarah. I was hoping to pick your brain about one of my kinder students that I have. Um, I'll be reviewing some of my notes. I wanted to be really specific when, bringing this to you to see what your thoughts were. So this is a kinder, as I mentioned. Specific goals are going to be articulation-based and expressive language goals. Specifically right now for articulation, we're working on the production of the K sound, so C or K, in all positions. In our sessions, she is attempting the K sound, but mostly producing B or T. So a little bit of background. This is her first year. She is kinder in speech, so intelligibility is quite low, probably no support outside of this experience now. She comes off very shy due to being misunderstood, I believe, and sometimes doesn't really want to repeat what's being said in our sessions. I'll ask her, can you say this? And she's so shy, she just won't want to sometimes. The few times I've gotten her from her teacher, the teacher will say something like, oh yeah, let me go get her, she really needs her speech. So I get the sense that the teacher seeing some similar patterns in the classroom as I am when we're in our small groups together. So the approach so far, it's a group setting, as you know, our kinder with another child or sometimes two children there. I like to start off our sessions with some things that she can be successful at, so she gains that confidence that we're hoping to see. What that can look like is some CVC words, something like bug she can do, and then trying to create a simple two-worded phrase. We did brown dog, and she was successful in those attempts. And we'll use a coloring sheet, so there's some fun added into that, and it's a visual as well for her to see the bug, a bed, and some other CVC words. I provided a verbal model for her and then guided auditory cues when producing those CVC words before we moved on to the more difficult words with K in them. So that might be something like bug, B-U-G, bug. And then I noticed that when it's a little slower for her, she's more willing and she generally is more successful in saying that word. Until we start adding the K sound in there. We'll start with something like cat, and it'll turn into tat. So she starts to substitute that K sound. Sometimes it turns into a D or even a T sound. So during our sessions, I provided the visual cueing, and modeling with my mouth to show the placement of where the tongue should be. That was little to no help. I also used a YouTube video with a pretty popular speech pathologist. Not successful. There were also some verbal cues, maybe, thinking she's an auditory learner versus visual, telling her to put her tongue in the back of her mouth and touch the top. These attempts were not successful, so I decided to just use auditory bombardment at that point, so at least she could hear the sound correctly. Because up to that point, it was just mostly the T sound if she was attempting to repeat what was asked of her. Because I think it seemed like she believed she was making the K sound just because of how similar K and T sound. Okay, so you're thinking the next steps are to use a tongue depressor and a mirror so that she can see where the placement of the tongue is supposed to be in the future without the mirror. I'll get started on that technique and I'll report back. And I'll also even do the whispering technique you talked about, maybe starting with something like bat and then cat. and a whispering voice. Okay, thank you.